You're tuned in to the Behind the Ears podcast with Uncle Danny and Mr. Chris, because everybody does Disney differently. The Behind the Ears podcast crew would like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support. Expedition Roasters is the artisanal roaster of specialty Disney-inspired coffees. Why not brew some of the magic at your home? Some of our coffees include Skipper's Brew, Ghoulish Delight, Enchanted Tiki Coconut, Redhead Rum, and many other unique roasts. Our coffees are certified gluten and allergen-free and feature unique custom artwork by guest artists. Expedition Roasters offers an adventure in every bag. So start your adventure today by visiting us online at expeditionroasters.com. That's expeditionroasters.com. And Behind the Ears listeners, be sure to take advantage of this exclusive offer and save 20% on your first purchase with code EARS20. That's EARS20 at expeditionroasters.com. Brew your happy place. Do you have a little one and don't want to bring your stroller from home? Have you destroyed a stroller in the past from all the wear and tear from a Disney vacation? Well, Kingdom Strollers is a great place to rent a great quality stroller at a reasonable price. Kingdom Strollers is a Disney-featured stroller provider, which means they will deliver it right to your resort, even if you're not there. Same thing for picking it up at the end of your trip. So if you're in need of an affordable stroller rental during your next Orlando trip, consider renting from a Disney-trusted stroller company. Visit kingdomstrollers.com for more information.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of... You guessed it, that is right, it's Behind the Ears podcast. I am Uncle Danny. The guy over there just hanging out, wearing his black hat like usual. That is Mr. Chris. Sir, how are you?
It's the first day of spring. It's the first day of spring.
Doesn't feel like that in Jersey.
It's the first day of spring. It's the first day of spring.
He hits those high notes so gently. So, yes, first day of spring. Doesn't feel like it out here, but hey, it's part of the game. Before we get rocking and rolling here, if you're listening to this as a podcast format, congratulations. You realize that we're back online. If you are watching it, this does not mean much to you unless you are also a downloadable podcast listener. We are literally this close to relaunching everything. It'll all iron itself out very shortly. But with that being said, you know, today was a fun day. It was first day of spring. It is the day before my birthday. And we're getting like 13 inches of snow. But what the fun part was is the Wine and Dine registrations opened up today. So, woo, super cool. Hopefully everybody who was looking to get in was able to get in. I know they still have some open spots, but some of it is closed. We're going to dive all into that here in one hot second. But anything else going on in your world you want to touch on?
Well, I know that from the Behind the Ears podcast crew, we've got both Alex and Jess that are going to be partaking in said runs, which I think is actually really cool. I know that they were both like, okay, time for me to do this. Click, 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 click. And like 20 minutes later, yay! Got a whole bunch of messages from them. They're all really excited about it. So we are going to be represented there. And that is like really, really super cool.
Yep. So let's take a look at some things that were posted through Active, which is part of the Disney Run. Let's see. If you do not live within 90 miles of Orlando, you will need to stay at a Disney resort, including Shades of Green for any ex-military or current military, for 2 nights during the race weekend, and will need to purchase 1 2-day park ticket or 2 one-day park tickets. Each race participant and those sharing a room will need to purchase a minimum of a 2-day park hopper. If you live within 90 miles of Orlando, you do not need to stay at Disney, but will need to purchase the theme park tickets. To extent possible, please make all reservations and park ticket purchases through through Disney itself. If you are an annual pass holder, please provide the pass holder number when getting ready to book, so that makes life a little bit easier. Let me see. I know there was a little bit more. If you are a DVC member, you could do your bookings directly through DVC, and so on and so forth. So that is something to keep in mind if you are running. Has not been talked about. And that's only, excuse me, that's if you go through a charity. I thought I read that part.
I was going to say, I think there was one thing missing, and that was it, but that's okay.
Yes, there was one thing missing. This is if you go through a charity. And you might say, hey, what do you mean go through a charity? A lot of people, charities go in and they buy some of these bibs, and then you help raise money for said charity.
Right.
And a lot of people, if you miss registration, this is how you could still get a bib, but there are stipulations with it. It used to not be like that. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody walking in knew this. I do apologize. That was not for everybody. That is only if you are buying through a charity. Now, currently through Active on the Run Disney, they still have individual half marathon. That's the 10K. Well, plus the individual half marathon plus the 10K for ages 14 and above is right now. They still have some left. You're looking at $345 for the half and the 10K.
Does that,
if you
that
want,
does that include 5K as well? Or does
no, just the half and the 10K.
Okay.
Just those two races. There's still packages. There's still that left at $345. And we are once again talking about Disney Wine and Dine. If you want to just do the half marathon, tickets are still available. Bibs, are still available at $199. If you wanted to do the 10K, unfortunately, that is sold out. If you wanted to do the 5K, unfortunately, that is sold out. The Run Disney Kid Races, the 1 mile run, ages 13 and under, $30, still available. The Run Disney Kid Races Dashes, it's the diaper dash, the 100 meter, and the 200 meter, still available at $200. So once again,
$200.
20. Sorry.
I think myself, holy cow. I mean, I'd like to see some of the medals those little kids get, especially the diaper dash.
Just weigh your head down. $20 for that. So once again, the kids races are still available for a very reasonable price. 5K and 10K is sold out. Half marathon, once again, is still available at $199. And the half marathon plus the 10K is $345, still available. Now, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but if you really want to do the 10K, you can't just get a 10K bib, but technically you get the half and the 10K. So, get to the gym, start working it, start running those treadmills, get those miles in, because you still can do it. We also have another BTEP person running for us. That is Nicholas will be running.
Oh, he will be. That's awesome.
So he will be.
Sweet.
Yes.
Jess was saying that the 5 and 10K both sold out in about 2 hours. And
that's slower than Princess, though.
Didn't Princess close out in less than an hour?
Oh, yeah. And now, granted, they say it was an anniversary and all that. That close. I wanted the 10K bad. I was ready to go. And that was just not happening.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Jess is in for all three, and Nick is in for the 5K. I know Alex is in for the 5K. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, that's such big money, man. Think about that. That is big money.
Well, I think that's also part of the reason why I've kind of, I myself am going to probably, if I do anything this year with it, I'll probably do one of the virtual races. I mean, the thing is that it's a lot of money to do it if you're not already planning a trip there, or unless you are a dedicated runner that is something you want to do. I mean, heck, what was it? Today's Tuesday. Sunday was the first time that I actually, went for a nice long walk. Did about a mile and a half around my neighborhood. I got a funny. I got a runner funny for you, Danny. Get this. about 4 or 5 months ago, I bought a new pair of running shoes. Yeah, I bought running shoes in the wintertime. Okay. I knew I wasn't going to use them until the spring. And so I left them downstairs and I forgot about them. And of course, my wife reminded me that she put them away for me. So I found out where she put them. Okay. And the funny part is that I decided to myself, I'll go put my running shoes on and I'll go outside for a nice brisk walk. I opened a box and I'm thinking to myself, I don't remember buying these shoes.
That's fantastic. We've all had that moment. Though.
I looked at them and I said, they're black and silver. I go, I don't remember them being black and silver. I knew they were Asics, and so I knew that part. But then I'm like, wait a second. Okay. So I tried them on. They fit fine. They fit good. And then I went for the walk. I'll tell you right now, after the walk, I'm thinking to myself, these are probably some of the most non-squishy running shoes that I've ever run in my entire, or worn in my entire life. So I'm thinking to myself, what was I thinking when I bought them? Now I'm also thinking, did I pick up the wrong pair when I bought them? I don't know what I did wrong. And they were, well, to me, they were expensive. They were, not expensive. I know there are some people that buy running shoes and they're a couple $100.
Oh, easy, yeah.
These are cheap and by that comparison. But for a person like me that after about, I don't know, less than 100 miles, I wear out a pair of shoes just because, well, I'm a big guy. I'm pretty rough on shoes. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you right now, if any of you are actual runners, someone go start a cool thread over at the WDW community page and tell me what kind of shoes you wear, because I need some recommendations of what to try out. I like squishy shoes because I'm a big guy. I need shock absorbers, for shoes.
So to clarify, no, Chris nor myself will be running or attending this particular meet.
Sorry.
I'm in the process of buying a large purchase, which is, I actually did not. This is sad.
You're going to buy a large purchase?
What's wrong with me tonight?
I don't know, man.
That's like the 5th time.
I mean, you and I just can't speak tonight, and it's going to make it funny.
This ain't working.
This is going to be a blooper reel in the making. You know it.
I'm in the process of acquiring a large item. I'm making an acquisition. Big news, I did not renew my annual pass.
That is big news.
It ran out yesterday. I'm a little upset about it.
Did you forget to renew it?
No. You know what? I justified that if my purchase goes through, I'm going to need at least a year off from Disney. So literally I have no plans on going the entire year.
Does that mean you're not going to try to go for Toy Story opening?
I can't swing the flights. First of all, the flights alone are like $300 for me.
What's up with that?
It's because it's the weekend right before 4th of July.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm still trying to see if I could swing a solo trip myself. It really kind of depends on whether or not Mr. Taxman works out for me. I mean, I sent my taxes down to my accountant, which, by the way, has a great accounting service down in Jacksonville, Florida. In case there's anybody down there that needs a good accountant, let me know. I know a great accountant down there, and that whole company just does a great job on my taxes. So hopefully, no, he's not buying it.
A Tesla. I wish.
If anybody buys a Tesla first, it's going to be me. It's as simple as that. I'm the car guy. What? People should not be confusing that between me and you.
Nope.
So,
nope.
You know what, Stan? Hold that comment there. Stan says, Chris, you should go to a place where they help you pick out your shoes that are right for you. I'm not sure what store you have in the U.S., but they have the running room. I did go to a place that custom fit a pair of running shoes for me, and it was really good. But they were so expensive, and I can't justify doing that again. They're great shoes. They lasted me the longest, but the thing is, I just can't. It was over $250, and I just can't swing that. So, thanks. Sorry. That was bad. That was bad.
Oh, Faith, that's funny. Oh man, I had something to say too. Oh yeah, and then of course Disney wants to torture me, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to pre-order your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tickets?" And I'm like, I hate you.
You
I
know,
hate you.
and the thing of it is that from what I understand, they just announced the dates, and they also just not only released the dates, but it's my understanding they you can buy them now, right?
Yeah. I don't think they're released yet.
See, I thought I heard. Granted, I didn't. I have not paid attention too much to the news today, but the thing of it is that I thought that they also released the tickets to be able to be purchased, but I will have to double check that. The dates are out though, and they start in like someone said August. Am I right when I say that?
They did last year. They started in August last year. They keep upping and upping and upping. We'll see what happens.
I couldn't imagine being in a really cool costume or someone doing a good cosplay and being at the end of August, which is basically like being on,
phone only for those tickets as of right now.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mary. I appreciate you confirming that for me. I thought I heard something correct on that. And,
I'll put any amount of money on it by next weekend. By next week's shows, we'll have more to talk about on that topic.
And I bet you anybody by the time next week's shows come around, Halloween will definitely be sold out.
You know what? You say that, and it did not. Halloween didn't sell out this year. People don't realize that. Halloween did. I went on the 29th, and the 29th was more crowded than the 31st.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You know what it is? I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
No.
The price tag scares people off.
There's still a lot of people asking whether or not they think it's a good deal to do it. I personally think, hey, if you've never done it before and you want to try something different, I think both the Halloween and Christmas party, for that matter, are both wonderful, hard-ticketed, separate events to try out. If you've never done them before, you can really have a great time. But, it's an optional thing, but still.
I am missing Food and Wine. I literally don't like. I take the same week off every year, and I still haven't. I didn't take it off this year because I ended up. I am going on one vacation this year, but it's gonna get changed a little bit. Disneyland might get to see Uncle Danny for the first time in like 15 years. I might make a quick appearance out there for 1 or 2 days. I got some stuff going on in California for a week, so. But it kills me knowing that I. Oh no!
No, I'm still here.
Okay. It kills me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Halloween. See, Brian's saying Halloween sold out. There's no way it's sold out. Maybe the pre-sale tickets for Halloween is sold out.
Well, maybe
but there's no way
Halloween
is sold out.
Maybe he's talking about last year.
Oh, he's saying, Halloween sold out. Maybe.
Oops.
But it didn't though. Like I know people that are well within the means of being able to know if it's sold out, and it did not sell out. Now the year before that, it did sell out because they were still. Oh my god, they were still offering tickets leading up to Halloween. Let's see. Yeah, the Halloween party. Oh,
I like the Halloween party, man. I do. I like Christmas. I did like Christmas really well. Halloween was a lot of fun as well. So, kind of depends on what you want to do. I will say one thing, though. I love watching the fireworks for the Halloween party from the top of the Cali Grill. I just think that was cool. That's just my 2 cents. Your mileage may vary. Taxes not included. Void where prohibited by law.
It's so funny. No one believes me until they actually go do it. And they're like, wow, you're so right. I had Jess and Nick and Alex all astonished. Well, maybe not astonished, but they agreed with me that if you watch the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parade from the top of the train station, not crowded, plenty of ample room. You could even sit down on a bench if you wanted to, and you get the best look. I'm telling you, next time you're there, go check it out. Not a good spot for Hallowishes, though.
I was going to say, though, did you have to, get there, plenty early?
No, we got there maybe 10, 15 minutes before the parade started. Okay. So
that may be something I'm going to have to try. I've never tried that before because I always thought, it's going to be crowded or this, that, and the other, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
People want to be close to the characters. And so that always means that courtyard gets filled up. Main Street's always a mess. But I'm telling you, because people don't think about it. Like, they're so far up. And they still have ample access. I think Jess and Alex went down. They were dancing and got free candy. And I mean, you're down within seconds, depending on how quickly you can walk down those stairs.
So, since we're talking about the party, what was your favorite part about the Halloween party?
Oh, it's always the gravediggers from the parade.
Oh, the
I
gravediggers
love
from the
them.
parade?
Yeah, when they're just dragging their shovels around. Love it. Terrible audio, but great visual.
Yeah, okay. I could see that. Mary wanted to know, do you like the first or second parade?
I'm a second parade guy, but you need to take into account that rain. You know, if you say I'm going to skip the first one, because the first one's always way more crowded.
Yeah.
But if you skip the first one, there's always a chance that a rainstorm comes in and they cancel the second one, and you just spent a lot of money not to see a parade.
Yeah, that's something you have to take into consideration. I mean, you could still have a lot of really good times if it rains, but they are going to not do the fire. Well, they'll not do the parade, and if it's lightning, they won't do the fireworks. I mean,
Yeah.
they will do fireworks in the rain.
Oh, really?
Oh, they will, as long as it's not like windy, stormy, lightning type of lightning. Is that a word? That sort of thing. I have watched Happily Ever After soaking wet.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems like an oxymoron.
No, I take that back. It wasn't Happily Ever After. It was Wishes. It was actually it was last summer. Or not. Yeah, it was last summer. So it was Happily Ever After. All I remember is we were standing there and it was kind of rainy, and then it would stop, and then it would kind of rain a little bit more. Then it would just mist enough to be annoying, mist enough to not want me to take my camera out. They still did it. As long as it's not lightning for a certain period of time, it'll do it.
So true. It was so cold. I'm pretty sure it was like 38 or 41 that night.
Oof.
On the 29th. And I mean, we closed that park out. But when I tell you, and I'm from the Northeast, I'm gonna wear shorts tomorrow in 15 inches of snow. It was cold. You know what it is? My body got warmed up from like the 70-degree weather during the day, and I left, and it didn't snow. No, it didn't snow in Jersey, but it was cold in Jersey. I left. I was like, 70 degrees is great. By the time the night came, I was so cold. You couldn't even tell what my costume was because I wore my Behind the Ears podcast sweatshirt.
See, that's the funny part about, like, not August, not necessarily September, but as you approach October, you do run the risk of having nice, warm, borderline hot days, and then the evening hours get into the 50s and 40s and even dip into the 30s if you're not lucky. And the funny part is that you'll say, oh, well, 50s isn't all that bad. Well, especially for those of us right now in, the late winter, early springtime, 50s is, shorts weather to me. But the fact of the matter is that if you've already been outside in 85-degree weather, 50 all of a sudden feels pretty darn chilly.
Yeah, it really does when it
really
drops
does.
like that. And they're right. We did take the boat. That boat was horrible that night. It was so cold.
What, we're talking about the paddle boat?
The little boat going to Poly and Grand Floridian.
Oh, what was this? You caught a nice breeze off the lagoon there, huh?
The whole time, and we were already cold, and that just made it colder.
People don't realize that any of the bodies of water there at Disney, and I'm mainly referring to, the lakes around the Magic Kingdom, the monorail hotels, Fort Wilderness Lodge, as well as Seven Seas Lagoon in the middle of Epcot. They are big enough where if there is a breeze coming off of it, or if you're taking a boat in the middle of it, they are large enough to get a wind chill, like an actual cooling effect of the wind that comes across. So, it's one of those cases where you don't realize it, and then, boom, all of a sudden you're like, darn, I'm cold.
Yep.
So you just gotta be prepared for it. I mean, I'm okay with wearing shorts. I don't mind if my legs get cold. The rest of my body, if my torso and my arms get cold, I'm miserable. I'm miserable too.
I'm miserable.
I'm not to the point where I'll have to have a stocking cap on, but I'll always have always have my hat on. That's kind of my signature. But yeah, so even when you get
I
up in
always
the
have my
morning.
beard. That's my signature.
There you go. Yeah. Even in the morning time when you get up, especially if you're trying to catch rope drop, it's 7 o'clock or so in the morning, and it's going to be kind of it could be kind of misty, could be foggy, but it's going to have a nice little chill, and sometimes it's that wet chill. And I think that's the horrible chill, if you ask me. It's like that damp chill, and you really hope to goodness that you don't have a bus where the thermostat is stuck on like 55 degrees and freezing, and you walk in there and all of a sudden you walk off and I'm a Chris Sickle.
Chris Sickle.
It's just like, and it's not even because of sweat. It's just because it was so humid when I got on still, even though it was cold, get on the bus, come back off and you're like, I'm a Chris Sickle.
Immediately start defrosting.
I know. This is one of those things. Hey, so I know that you're not the biggest movie person in the world. And I know I make fun of you about that whole topic once in a while. But you have seen some of the Marvel movies recently, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm a big Marvel fan.
Okay, so what was the last Marvel movie that you saw? Do you remember? He's thinking. He's processing the request.
Well, the last couple ones that came out.
Like Thor, Ragnarok, Black Panther.
Saw that. Did not see Black Panther.
I didn't either yet. Not because I haven't tried. I really do want to see it.
Was Ant-Man, is that Marvel?
That is Ant-Man. That's a great movie.
Saw that.
That's a great movie. Did you see any of the last Avengers?
I've seen all the Avengers,
Captain America and all that stuff. Okay. So, couple things. First and foremost, if you haven't seen the trailer for the Avengers, the Infinity War, you gotta go see it. You gotta see the trailer at least. The trailer is epic. And I kind of feel like in seeing that trailer, I have to see Black Panther before I see Infinity War. That's just my 2 cents. I don't think I have to, but still, that's my 2 cents. Second, to commemorate Infinity War, AMC theaters and selected theaters are going to have like a 31 plus hour movie marathon where they are going to show every last movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, starting with Iron Man, and they're going to do it in chronological order.
Oh my God, how long is that going to take?
32 hours, I think they said. And I'm thinking to myself, dude,
That's awesome.
That would be so awesome. Now, granted, I would skip a couple movies, but the fact
that's when you take a nap.
Yes, like I would definitely nap through Hulk. I'm sorry. With all love to Hulk, I was a big Hulk fan when I was a kid and watching the Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby, and Lou Ferrigno. That was my Hulk. I did watch the Hulk movies and just wasn't too thrilled about them. But they'll go all the way through all the Avengers movies, all the Iron Man movies, all the Thor movies, all the Captain America movies. But then Ant-Man. Doctor Strange. By the way, have you seen Doctor Strange yet?
Yes, that surprisingly was a fantastic movie. I thought it was going to be horrendous.
Oh, it was kind of interesting because my family and we saw it down in the Gusman Omniplex, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was really good for like a character introduction and bringing about, building the character up a bit. I thought it was really well done yes, it was a little bit strange, no pun intended. But I really super enjoyed it. And then like next week, or the week after that, I should say, I saw Ragnarok. That was actually not my favorite Thor movie, but it was still really good. I just thought it was a little bit too funny to be a Thor movie.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, I always think Thor is big, powerful. I mean, the jokes are funny. Don't get me wrong. I laughed, but I always thought it was a little bit too funny to be a Thor movie.
Here's the thing, though.
What?
With Black Panther.
What?
I hated the comic book. I read all the comic. Well,
so I don't know anything really about the storyline of Black Panther other than what was in Civil War.
I by no means have read all the comic books. Let me rephrase that because I know there's going to be somebody out there that's like, hey, do you remember the edition 3 made in 1964? Did you? No, I didn't. I have not read all of them. I have read my fair share of them.
Yeah.
Black Panther just never did it for me. Catwoman never did it for me. Like, it was just these. I know I'm jumping John.
I was gonna say,
that,
it's,
but,
yeah, we'll forgive you for the sake
but
of
you know what I mean. There's just certain comic books out there that never did to me. I know a lot of people are like, you got to go see Black Panther. I'm like, I'm sure the visual effects and everything is done tremendously. I just don't like the storyline, so I'm gonna save my $12.50. And I'm gonna wait. I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm never gonna watch it. When it comes out on TV or Netflix or whatever the case is, absolutely sure I'll go see it. Same thing. Like I didn't go see, what was it? Batman versus Superman, because I read the comic and the comic was terrible, and so was the movie. Yeah. I ended up seeing it.
Now, I haven't seen that one either. I do want to see that one. I haven't seen it either. So there you have it with that. But I am really looking forward to it. But the reason why I even brought that up to begin with, it's kind of a precursor to this. And this is for Disneyland, everybody. Disneyland. Basically they are going to take out a Bugs Land over, I believe it's over, I thought it was California Adventure. I may be getting some things kind of mixed up. But they're taking out a Bugs Land, and they're basically going to replace it with basically a Marvel-themed section of the park. And, there are some people that I know that are really disappointed that Disney would do that. I'm not necessarily one of them. $5 Tuesdays are back for AMC Stubs members. Yes. If I can only take Tuesday off. Yes.
Right? If I can only get away.
Anyway, so I mean, there were some people I know, and I love their fervor for this. They were trying to save Bugs Life or Bugs Land, and they were trying to do the whole petition thing, and I have a deep respect for that. I mean, 'cause sometimes you just have to, try, but it's going to happen. And the interesting part to it is that, I kind of made a comment. Ryan Lehman, one of our friends from Disney Parks People, he kind of posted some of the information up front, and I read it. And the one of the things that I kind of have to make mention is, Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, for that matter, they've got, if they want to change something big, the fact of the matter is they have to take something out. They can't necessarily have a huge addition without actually taking something away, just because they are pretty much landlocked in the land that they're in, or the land that they have, I should say, physical real estate. Even at the same time, if you think about it, to do Toy Story Land and to do Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios, they still took stuff out, but they also expanded it because they had some land. But they're going to be building that up there at Disneyland, and I think it's actually going to be a really big addition. But it's I just think that it's going to be really, really cool to do that.
I'm assuming that fits into their contract.
Well,
right?
You know what it does? It allows them to actually bring about some of those characters that they can't do over at Walt Disney World because of the whole Disney Universal Studios bit on the East Coast. That's a big thing. People don't really realize it. Everybody keeps asking about it. They don't realize about the deal that's been made. So in order to enjoy it, they have to go to the other side of the country. Not necessarily a bad thing. I think people, especially people from that are Walt Disney World regulars, should experience Disneyland. I really think that they should. It is different. It is very different. But the fact of the matter is, you can have a wonderful vacation at Disneyland, even though it is much smaller, much more intimate, and it does feel different. But that's, in a way, that's good. I really super enjoyed my time there. I wish I can go back. I really want to go back. I haven't been there in a couple of years, and I really wish I can go back and do that. So I don't know if you
do they have a opening, or what's even going there?
Nothing. It's more like teasers have been coming out, but it's kind of like, this is what we're going to put there. And for the longest time, I think people were kind of wondering about it. Because I know that they were going to take out it's a Bugs Land for quite some time, but there wasn't a lot of speculation as to what were they going to do with it. So taking that into consideration, now the truth is coming out, which actually kind of makes sense. I think they need to do that. They need to make that kind of a change. I think it's only going to be for the better. I know I would love to be out there for opening day of that. I'll pay if someone wants to get me tickets for Disneyland. It'd be great. I'll pay my own plane ticket out there. It just needs to change a little bit. The thing is, as I said, change out on the West Coast requires a lot more disruption than change on the East Coast. That's just something people don't realize.
Wait, say that again?
Change on the West Coast is much more disruptive than change on the East Coast.
Oh, by far, yeah.
That's the thing. So
yeah, no, that's so true. I mean, it's so much harder to get things done in Disneyland. I mean, just because everything's so tight, you don't have the space to keep machinery, and I mean, when you want to change something, you got to put some investment into changing something. It ain't quick. It ain't cheap. And
you need to have pretty much an act of Congress in order to let it happen, too.
Oh, God. Well,
I don't mean that that's not an insult to California or Californians. It's just that you're doing all these things inside a major metropolis. And let's face it, that kind of stuff can be disruptive to, those that are just on the outskirts of the property. Walt Disney World is one of those cases where Walt purposely put it in the middle of nowhere. At least that's, when it started out that way. Mm-hmm. He basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, we're going to have the gift of space. And they have more land, and they bought more land than they can ever possibly use, so to speak. And there's still a lot of land that Walt Disney World has that can be used. There are some things that they can or cannot do with it, but they can still use it one way, shape, or form.
Wow.
What's that?
I just happened to open the email I got from Disney about Mickey's Not So Scary, and I know it's completely off topic from what we were talking about.
Yeah, go for it.
Halloween night, October 31st. Take a guess on how much an adult ticket is.
I thought it was like $100.
$125.
Wasn't it? But wasn't it like 112 or 115 last year?
I think it was 109, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I know
I'd have to look that up in our old blogs.
But I know that they were doing tiers last year. Like, what I mean by tiers, certain dates had.
They still are. August. There's 3 dates in August. Basically, I don't want to give away all this because how much time do we have? All right, I'm going to do this quickly. Pay attention. We'll do this again in another show. August 17th to 24th to 31st. September 7th to 14th, 21 and 25. Advance sale is $79 for adults, $74 for children. Same day sale means if you don't get them in advance, $89 for adult, $84 for children. Wow. August 28th, September 3rd, 9th, 11th, 16, 18, and 23. Advanced is $75, children $70. Same day adult, $85, children $80. September 28th and the 30th, October 2nd and the 4th. Advanced $89 for adults, $84 for children. Same day is $99 for adults and $94 for children. October 5, 12, 19, 26, 28, and 30. Advance sale $119, children $114, and that is the same price for advanced and same day. October 8, 9, 11, 14, 16, 18, 21, 23, and 25. Advanced sale $99 for adults, $94 for children. Same day adult is $109, children $104. And then October 31st, adults are $125, children $120. They also have released the DVC and pass holder advanced sale pricing. If you wanted to go, the closest date they have with the advanced sale pricing ticket offers would be October 23rd would be the closest to Halloween. That's $94. The quick breakdown is August 17, 24, 31, September 7, 14, 21, 25, adults 74, children 69. That's a nice deal you're getting there. August 28th and September 3, 9, 11, 16, 18, 23. Adults are 70, children are 65. September 28th and 30th and October 2nd and the 4th. Adults are 84, children 79. And October 8, 9, 11, 14, 16, 21, and 23. Adults 94, children are 89. We'll get into that later, but that is woo.
But
those prices are steep.
Did they have last year? Try to help me remember. Did they have pre-purchase versus same day pricing last year? Okay, so that is new. I was kind of wondering. Yeah. I didn't think so. I kind of thought so. So okay, that
is so expensive though. Oh man. Listen, I don't really complain about prices. I really, really don't. I just try to understand the fact that it's Disney and people it's a business and all that. How do you do a Disney podcast and not go to Disney? I went enough last year to constitute me taking a year off. That's so expensive. Ooh, that hurts my soul. $120 just for, I guess, 8 hours, right?
Could be about
4 to 12, 8 hours, 9 hours, somewhere in that ballpark.
4 to 12. Yeah, 4 to 12 would be 8 hours.
Well, I'm saying sometimes it can go past that one. That's tough.
It's also if you really think about it, you go do something right at the 11:59, and you probably don't get out until 12:30, 1 o'clock, and you kind of stroll your way out.
Oh man, we closed it down. Like we were one of the last people walking out that joint last year.
They saw you walking and they all applauded afterwards. Yay! They're finally gone. We could finally clean up and close the cash registers.
He's not buying any more Mickey bars.
Well, the problem of it is that even like right at closing time, they close Casey's regardless. I'm so sorry about that. I remember one time. Was it last year? It was kind of funny because like last year, I walk in the door at Casey's and they closed it behind me. I'm like, oh yeah.
So Jessica said, Nick found the price for the movie marathon. Disney Springs is sold out. New York only had wheelchair spaces available, so it's not actually a seat technically. And the price tag was $75.
Well, okay, $75.
That's actually a good deal for 31 hours.
That's a really good deal. I mean, you think about it. Even if you saw half the movies, that would still be a good price any day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be able to do it. It's one of those things. I keep telling some of my friends around locally, I said, I think I'm just going to like schedule, a few, couple per weekend. Anybody want to come over? Fine. Bring your favorite beverage, bring your favorite snack. You got to bring enough to share with me, and come on over to the Gusman Omniplex. I got the reclining seats, awesome sound. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to dance around some of these questions. How much is that per hour for 5 hours? Quick math.
Talk it $20 an hour ish.
Oh, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. About $15 an hour.
Ish. Yeah, I'm rounding up.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, so we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, those AP prices were only pre-sale. Only pre-sale.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, yeah, sure. The last time I went, it was significantly cheaper. But the fact of the matter is that it is a special event, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. I personally think that if you haven't done it, and if you like those kinds of things that they have offer, you go for the special things. You go for the special events that have it within them. You go for the parade, which you're not going to see anywhere else. You go for some of the candy. You go for some of the the special things that go around the hollow wishes, or I don't know if they're going to call it, it's like hollow ever after. I don't know. You go and you see the things that you normally wouldn't see. And at the same time, you can still go and enjoy a lot of great attractions without a lot, I say without a lot of weight, but that's not always true. But the later you stay, the thinner it gets, so it's just one of those things. I would say get there at 4:00 when they're allowing you to get in and just have a blast at it. So,
what does Disney change every couple of months? Did I miss that? Let us know what you're getting at. Let us know.
I mean, there's a lot of change that happens in general. Some of it's small.
You go twice in September, Mary. If you want to, bring Uncle Danny, I fit very nicely in a large size suitcase. You are going to have to pay if you're flying me there. There's going to be an overage in weight. I promise you that. So just get ready for the heavy tag.
Heavy tag.
Spirit has that bright yellow heavy.
That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's good. You know
what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was going to say, it'd be funny to say, I'm a piece of baggage. Go ahead and slap that heavy tag right here, heavy.
Let me make a t-shirt.
Put me in the back. I'll just roll through the conveyor system. Wait, how much is it? $125? It's cheaper than one of your plane tickets, and probably more comfortable, Spirit Airlines.
Way more comfortable than Spirit Airlines. Oh man, some really cool things out. I mean, 125 to me is a little steep for my blood, but I'm comfortable paying like around $100.
The problem of it is, here's the problem: $125, typical family of 4,
$500.
$500. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And
you would get me in a carry-on.
Yeah. But it's $500, right? I mean, the thing of it is that it is a lot of money by anybody's stretch of the imagination. Even if you're getting some of the earlier seats, you're still talking $350-ish, but and of course it's a little less if you've got, children. But, to be very honest with you, it's a special event. And what a lot of people do, like if you're staying for 5 or 6 days, you'll get the amount of days that you're going to stay -1. Okay. And for that one day that you're going to go to the party, you do something other than the parks that day. Make it a pool day. Make it a Disney Springs day. Go resort hopping, have some fun with that, and then sleep in like that day, and then boom, you get to the park at 4:00 with your ticket, and in essence, if a one-day ticket to the Magic Kingdom is over $100 to begin with, you're not paying that much more, and you're going to get, you could get 8 or more hours out of it. You can get a good value out of those tickets. So yes, they're expensive. However, you can play it so that is affordable. At least,
Yeah, I mean, listen, family of 4, you're still talking about $500 extra, but you can lose a day on that ticket. And in the grand scheme of things, listen, it's not going to be a washout, because say you're on day 5 or day 6, those tickets drop dramatically at those day rates.
Yeah. But it's,
it's a sacrifice, it's tough. I can't justify it unless you could justify yourself. It's your money. It's your hard-earned money. Me personally, I love it. But once again, when you look at it from a standpoint of I'm a single man, I can justify 125. If I had a wife and 2 kids and they were both over the ages of 10, that would make me had kids very young. But $500 on top of a Disney trip that's pricey. But
well, think of it this way: some people also like to pay, what is it, $60 for a dessert party. And, yes, this is twice as much than a dessert party, yet you get 4 or 5 times the amount of usage out of that money that you're spending. It's all one of those things where, it depends on what you want to do, how you want to do it. And I'd say that if it looks like something you ought to do, go for it. But you got to budget for it. Just like everything else, you have to budget for it. Don't go into it blindly. Budget for it so you don't have to worry about how it's going to impact your whole vacation budget.
Yeah, I mean, I usually always build in one relaxation day, so I don't buy a ticket that day. And now, technically, if you really wanted to, you're not getting a full day of relaxation. If you want to be at Magic Kingdom by 4, you got to be by the buses by 3. If you've got to get you and your husband or wife and kids dressed in a costume, you got to be in the room by 1:32. That's really not a relaxation day. So maybe offset the price a little bit. If you're there for 7 days, only get a 5-day pass. Keep 1 day for full relaxation, and then make sure at 4 o'clock. But you got to make sure you're doing it. Like, if you're going to do it right. And I don't mean do it right because I'm telling you to do it. Do it to maximize your ticket. If they let you in at 4, get in at 4. Don't roll in at 7 when the other jamokes are all walking in, the party starting. Get in at 4. There's stuff going on at 4. You can start to get rides. That 4 to 7, man, things get real slim there with wait times because then people are migrating out and, they're not letting anybody in unless they have tickets for that party.
I mean, it's one of those things. You kind of have to just, when you take away a day, you're able to, you kind of have to do the math depending on how many days you're going to stay there anyway. I know a lot of people, they tend to not to do full week-long trips in the fall times. A lot of times they'll follow more along lines of like fall breaks for schools. Like my son used to have like 2 or 3 weekdays that they had as a fall break and then the weekend. So a lot of times we would come in on a Wednesday and leave on a Sunday and get a nice 5-day trip out of it. So it's one of those things.
Plus parking.
Plus parking. Enough with the parking already.
Yeah, but they laid it out perfectly.
They did. You did, Christine. Touche.
Good job, Christine.
Good job. Points for her. Points for her. But it was kind of funny because I did a lunch break video today, and I said, "Yeah, we're not going to talk about parking." And a couple of the comments were like, "Yeah, enough with the parking talk already." I'm like, "We're not talking about it."
Yeah.
Moving on.
I did say jamokes.
Yeah.
You all are jamokes when you show up at 7 o'clock.
Oh, jamokes, and what was the last other one that you were bougie? Gosh, all these things I learn, So
I could pull up the show where I taught you how to properly pronounce words of food items.
Yes, I was just thinking of that, and I thought to myself, let's not go down this part. It's just I don't think. No, I know some people are saying, "Yeah, you're right. You don't think." Well, no, let's not go that way.
All right. Anything else you would like to add before we end?
Oh, sometimes I crack myself up, and sometimes I'm the only one that cracks up in the process. So I made this comment during the lunch break video. I'm going to make this comment again. So even though Danny says that he may not be going to Walt Disney World for a while, we always know that Danny could surprise you. That's true. You never know what's going to happen. So
find some money under the mattress.
You find some money. Yeah. If you haven't cleaned your place in a while, Danny, you might find a few extra Benjamins here and there. You may do well at the track or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's very true. You never know about that.
But the fact of the matter is, I just want to reiterate. Danny usually tells you when he's going. We all know that, and everybody just because it bears worth repeating. Because I've had some people ask me again. I have 2 trips planned. They are between now and Christmas. Okay? Sometime between now and Christmas. And if you see me in the parks and you tap me on the shoulder, get a selfie with me and everything else like that, that's great. I'm going to make sure that you get some swag out of it. Simple as that. But you've got to come up to me. You guys all know who I am. I'm pretty well recognizable. It's kind of a different version of, where's Waldo? It's just where's Chris. Most likely wearing some really awesome Behind the Ears podcast shirts or something like that. But you are always welcome to find me, and then you will get swag. But I will go, if you go into Disney twice between now and Christmas. There might be a third time in there, depending if I go to Toy Story. And if I go to Toy Story, I'll probably let people know. But Toy Story is opening, I should say. Which, again, it kind of depends on what my tax refund looks like. So I looked at my W-2. Someone said, "Hey, is that your net or is that your gross?" I said, "My net is gross," and but we'll have to see. But yeah, between now and Christmas, find Mr. Chris, get swag.
It's so funny.
Oh, John, you know
what I'm buying.
It's kind of funny because it's kind of funny. Yeah. Wait, Chris, so if you meet for lunch on Sunday, you get swag? No, but thanks for asking. I don't know. It depends. I may have a meetup between now and then anyway. And if any people that come to my meetups, you're in the Chicagoland area, you're going to get swag. It's as simple as that. So that's pretty cool. And what were you saying? What were you saying, Danny? Oh, they're all trying to figure out what you're going to buy?
Yeah. It's funny hearing people with the ring, because that's not the first time some of you people have joked about that. No, there's no one to give a ring to, so there's no ring anytime soon. Unless I can give the ring to myself, like one of them.
Are you gonna? No,
ring pops. That's what I was trying to get
pops?
at. Bring back the 90s, baby.
No. 90s. That's like 80s. But I can see you do the ring pop, and then in the middle of the show,
right? And then you just hear the crunch. Yeah.
It's. I hate to say it. It is kind of like, how many licks did it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Mr. Owl says it's 3, and the world will never know. So this was one of those things. But Danny, why don't you take us out of here?
With that being said, everybody, thank you for following us. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for just being you. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. Facebook is Behind the Ears Podcast, Instagram Behind the Ears Podcast, and Twitter Behind the Ears PC. Any listener questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on our YouTube channel, Behind the Ears Podcast. You can also, do that thing on iTunes where you rate and review the show. It's always handy to do that. We do appreciate it. And just like Trisha would tell you, and she probably will tell you, make sure you join the WDW community over on Facebook. And if you've already, why not tell a friend about it? Maybe add a friend. Let's spread the joy. Everybody in the Northeast, be safe. Hopefully you all get snow days tomorrow. Everybody down in Florida, hopefully the storms have passed by and everything is good to go down there. Everybody else in the middle of the country, have a good time. I don't know, whatever's going on out there. Really not following the Midwest weather. Hopefully no rain. I don't know. Anyway, everybody, I will see you on Thursday. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful middle of the week. It's only a day, so don't get too crazy. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. With that being said, I am Uncle Danny. Tunk your kids in at night, drink that cranberry juice, and make a snowball for me. I am Uncle Danny. I'm signing.
And I'm Mr. Chris. Thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate all of your love and support. Appreciate all the conversations going on over at the side comments over there. But hey, it's been a great time. Go ahead and subscribe the best way you know how. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Alexa, Google Home Play, all those things. Go ahead, subscribe, listen. It's awesome. But I'll tell you what, until we meet again, I hope you have a magical day. Take care.